So if he can grow a beard, that means he has rock hair. So why is he bald?
He's got a cul-de-sac.
Like, is he shaving his head too? Like, and even if he had thing pattern baldness, he'd still have some rock features around the rim, right? Like around the
like
temples.
a Caesar.
Yeah.
Thing pattern baldness.
A thing comb over.
It was stupid.
This is the Magic Our Way podcast. They're cut above the rest, bub. You're the best there is at what you do. And what you do is pretty nice.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast. They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs and not artistic cream puffs. This is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. On this episode, we discuss The Fantastic Four First Steps, the latest summer movie offering from Marvel Studios. And look, this isn't your typical polish, practice, pixie dust, and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in Disney Springs every day, letting you know that a plant had replaced the Mr. Potato Head statue in front of Once Upon a Toy.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and let you know if the Fantastic Four is truly fantastic.
And you listeners have the easy part. All you guys and girls have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
Why did they replace him with a planner?
Why they replaced him with a planner?
Yeah.
I think they were cleaning them or doing some repairs.
Oh.
So the article site basically took a picture of it where there used to be Mr. Potato Head was a plant. Which is par and course for what Disney does with planters in general when blocking said things.
And par for the course what internet websites will do would be like, Mr. Potato Head gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Replaced by plant.
I thought you were going to start off with saying that Disney Springs, there was a fight that broke out at the store because I saw an article that it wasn't even a fight. It was just like some dude yelling at some lady. I thought you were.
Oh, that could be an episode for another show.
I was hoping
headlines,
but they weren't even that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensational. Yes.
I'm picturing the headline: potato replaced by ficus.
It's no longer. It's not a tuba.
I will fight to fight this. I dare you.
Oh man! Look, my name is Kevin,
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And Rachel is out today. But look, if you're thinking about visiting the Universal Orlando Resort, specifically Epic Universe, or even taking a Disney vacation anywhere in the world, you can do that with Rachel. Booking with Rachel is one of the easiest ways to support this show. And look, another easy way to support this show is to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and where you access our show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. Also, we want to thank our Patreon supporters, both past and present, for all that they have done for us.
Yes.
And look, before we get into it, just real quick, man, it's been a rough week for us older folk. You know, last week we had several people pass away. Just want to give a shout out to one of the musician people that I know, Chuck Maggione, passed away. He gave us a lot of good music from back in the day and stuff. After that, we had Malcolm Jamar Warner.
Yeah.
Theo passed away.
Yeah.
Man.
Dr. Huxtable's kid. You know, of course, Mrs. Huxtable.
Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one. Shows up in A Dinosaur, which is also going to go defunct, unfortunately.
Oh man, bummer, dude. Like, you know, it's so funny. Like Bill Cosby, he must have made a deal with the devil because he outlived his biological son and his fictional son.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but his career is not so good.
Not so good.
Well,
the price you pay to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Immortality, that says.
I had just started watching this show called Sneaky Pete, and Malcolm Jamal Warner, he plays this guy's parole officer. So it was so crazy to hear that. Now I'm like, okay, I want to finish the show now just for that. But that hurt.
Yeah, that's a big thing from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Ozzy Osbourne passed away, a big name in rock and roll and whatnot.
He was living on borrowed time as it was. I don't know how he made it as far. Man, him and Keith
He's no
Richards.
Keith Richards, though.
Yeah,
Keith Richards is still going.
Yeah.
Jeez, they need to study that man.
That's just a walking skeleton with hair right there.
Yeah, forget about Triceratops or whatever. Like, study Keith Richards.
He's a living fossil.
Yeah,
He's a living fossil.
But yeah, Ozzy, yes, another one, another legend. And he got like fame beyond fame with all the different
different things that he had.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but yeah, that's wild.
And last but not least, more pertinent to us because we just did a show about it, was Hulk Hogan.
No!
Passed away.
Yeah.
Most closely related to the Disney universe than any of the other ones that we've mentioned for sure. If you're curious, listen to Magic Our Way 566, where we specifically talk about his work with Thunder in Paradise and with wrestling in general.
Yeah, I was never a big Hulk Hogan fan, and that was even before some of the more controversial things he said.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, you don't want to see anybody pass away.
No, I've seen some people on social media writing, I know he's dead, but he said this and that.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
did.
I'm like, hey man, nobody's perfect, but hey, I was highly entertained as a kid by him, even as an adult. I mean, we got to see him when WrestleMania came down here the first time.
He was the face of WWF back then.
Well, he
Absolutely,
botched the Superdome.
He
remember?
did.
He kept calling the Superdome the Silverdome.
Silverdome.
And the fans started chanting, Superdome, Super. And they were trying to help him, and he still didn't get it. And Stone Cold and The Rock had to
Silverdome
come
was
out.
in Seattle, right? Or
Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The Silverdome.
Nah, never a big fan, but look, his contribution is, you know what it's like? It's like your boy Triple H said. I think he said it best. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah. All right, look, enough of our jibber jabber, y'all. Let's go discuss the Fantastic Four. Now, it's been a while since I played that jingle, but then it's been a while since we reviewed a movie from Marvel. And as I said in the intro, it is Marvel time on the hub, and this hub is a movie review. That's right, we are discussing the latest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Marvel's offering for the Disney summer blockbuster movie season. I don't know how much of a blockbuster it's been, but whatever.
It's getting good reviews, I see.
Yeah, people are loving it.
Yep.
I'm sure it'll win the week.
Yeah, no doubt. An answer to DC's Superman movie that just was released maybe a couple weeks ago.
I like that.
There it is to kind of bring balance to the force.
Made by James Gunn. Watch out.
Yeah, there you go. So look, the Fantastic Four First Steps was released in the United States on Friday, July 25th, 2025. And the movie is described like so, and I quote, set against the vibrant backdrop of a 1960s inspired retro futuristic world, Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps introduces Marvel's first family, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, as they face their most daunting challenge yet. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, the Fantastic Four must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer. And of course, like we do with all of our movie reviews, we will present it in two parts. A non-spoiler version, which is usually the first half, and then a spoiler-filled version after that. And as always, we will give you ample warning before going into the spoiler-filled part. So, since this is a Marvel movie, it's fitting that we should start with our Marvel guru, Eli. So, Eli, you have the floor, sir. What did you think of this?
Okay, all right. Let me start with this. I dated a girl once, and she made me a lasagna. It looked good, it was well seasoned, and it smelled great. But then I took a bite of it, and it wasn't really lasagna. It turned out to be tofu lasagna. No meat in it. It had tomatoes, it had cheese and whatnot. And I didn't say anything about it. I just left the date and got a Wendy's hamburger and learned to never trust that girl again.
Wow.
Now, why am I saying that story before getting into this is because that's what this movie did to me. I was expecting an awesome lasagna
Right.
with everything in it. It looked good. We had a Galactus. We had characters. We had everything that looked good on the commercial that I saw on Little Caesars. That's the only knowledge I had of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I saw the movie, I got tofu.
Tofu.
I got tofu. There's not much action in this movie at all. And that's what I kind of look for. I mean, I know you need characterization, and I know we're going to elaborate on that. But a superhero that doesn't do superheroic things mostly through a movie, and this doesn't qualify to be as a superhero movie. The characters look like they were supposed to look like sometimes, but not all the time. It's kind of like a hit or miss on that. Ooh, I'm sure we'll get into how everybody looks on there, but we'll back off of that later. And
in the
then,
spoiler section, yeah, you'll talk about there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The visuals, but then the ending of it. Wow. I just overall, if you're a fan of nostalgia, if you're a fan of saying, hey, this was, Jack Kirby, the King, rest in peace, contribution to Fantastic Four, you'll probably love the first 5 minutes. But if you're looking for a comic book movie on the level of like an Avengers or something like that, you will be slightly disappointed. So to me, it took its first steps, but the steps went backwards.
They moonwalked.
Yeah, moonwalk right into some tofu. That's how I put that.
Cav, why don't you go?
Sure. So I'm not as familiar with the Fantastic Four as much. And I tried to think if I even watched the movies that came out before it with the Fantastic Four. I don't think I did.
None of them?
No, I don't think any of them. Yeah, to be honest, if I did, I don't remember it.
Okay,
so it definitely wasn't memorable, at least to me. So it just fantastic. I'm aware of the Fantastic Four, but it never stuck to me. So I went into this with like no expectations. Okay. I didn't even see a single trailer. I'd forgotten it was coming out until Daddy had said something. It was like, "Hey, should we review this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's coming out." No kidding. I totally forgot about that. But okay, so I went into it like that. I didn't know what to think about it. As far as the film goes and stuff, it's kind of neat to see that kind of retro style where you had the different little windows that would pop up in scenes and stuff. So that was kind of cool. That was, just like as the art form itself. I thought that was it was cute. I don't know if that's toward the timeline. It speaks to the timeline of when the Fantastic Four takes place. Is that when they're supposed to exist? Or,
it's like almost like the general era when everything kind of started.
Okay.
That's where to put that.
Okay, yeah. And so I figure with First Steps, this is like maybe a bit of like their start in something. And so maybe this is their start in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If I had to speak to this, it feels like this is what they're replacing the Guardians of the Galaxy with. Since the new series of Avenger movies that are coming out, with Avengers Doomsday and whatever else happens between now and then, this will be the team that teams up with whatever Avengers. I don't even know what the heck Avengers are going to pop up.
I think there's like 2 sets of Avengers now. There's the Sam Wilson Avengers and there's the Thunderbolt Avengers.
So like East Coast, West Coast kind of thing.
There you go. Maybe, yeah. Civil War. Go figure.
All tied by Doom, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who knows? If you've listened to my reviews and stuff before the Marvel movies since the original just trilogy, I guess original series of Marvel
like the phases.
The initial phases, the beginning phases. I've been disappointed. How they've treated it since that whole since Endgame and whatnot. And so this is no different. I was kind of entertained, but at the same time, I was like, oh, okay, there's not really, to your point, there's not really much action happening. To put it in a kind of a sexual term, it felt like I was constantly getting edged. So it's like you'd have a little bit of action, but then you'd pull it back. And then you have a little action and you'd pull it back. And then I almost went into details, but it was kind of like that. Yeah. Finally got a little something toward the end. But it just wasn't enough to get me there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. The movie exists. It's not Deadpool entertaining. Like when that's like my benchmark now for this on this side of the Endgame Marvel MCU.
Okay, I can see that.
So it's definitely not as entertaining or as fun as that. But there was some, I guess, I don't know. There's fun parts, but I wouldn't say from beginning to end it was like yes.
I mean, I know we'll delve into it, but were you at least engaged in it when you were watching it?
Off and on. Yeah, that's the thing. There's slow times where if edging, you pull it back and it just kind of stops, and you're just like, why?
I had never really heard that term.
Edging, really? Oh yeah. But somebody out there is like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm with you, kid.
But that's what they. At least that's what the kids are calling it these days. I don't know. But I don't know if that's what our term was.
Keeping it a buck. Apparently,
tease, I think.
Tease, yeah, maybe that was our term. Yeah, it was more teasing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're synonymous, right? And so that's what it felt like to me. It's like, oh, we're getting some action. Oh no. And then, well, I'll speak more, but in the spoiler filled section,
Yeah, of
because
course.
there's some things I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal with this? And why is this person? I don't know what her role is in the Fantastic Four, as far as like, is she the main person or whatever else? But I'll leave it like I'll leave it like that. It was okay. I wasn't exactly blown away by it, but I wasn't actually exactly disappointed, mainly because I went into it with extremely low expectations, thanks to what they've done since Endgame.
My turn.
Yes.
I hated this movie. Gotta say. Let me start off with what I liked about the movie. It'll be brief. I did like the retro futuristic look that you referenced of the film. I did feel it was visually engaging. There have been other past comic book movies that we've seen, like Watchmen or Captain America, X-Men First Class, where these movies, the time period was crucial to the story, so you understood why they set them in those time periods. There's nothing I can think about this story where it was crucial that the time period of the Fantastic Four be set back in the early 60s, except to pay homage to that Jack Kirby classic artwork, kind of like you were talking before.
Was that what that was? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
It looked like a stylistic choice to me, and that's what they were doing.
Okay.
I thought the set design, especially in the Baxter building, seemed like a mix of a Walt's original vision for Tomorrowland and Stanley Kubrick circa 2001. Maybe even with like elements of the TVA from Loki.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of that. So I really enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed the 1960s New York with these futuristic touches, like monorails running through Times Square and whatnot. It made for some great eye candy. And it also led to my favorite aspect of the movie, Herbie. Herbie is the real standout of this movie for me. I walked away loving me some Herbie. He's cute. He's helpful. I like how he communicates in those little electronic chirps that he does. And they don't overuse him like a lot of those annoying sidekick characters that
Like
where they
Jar Jar
just
Binks.
Or Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto. That's a good. I was thinking more like Orko from He-Man, or Slimer from the Real Ghostbusters, or something like that.
I feel you. Okay.
He had me longing for my days of my 1980s robot, Omnibot. When I was a kid, I had a little Omnibot.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it lasted for 2 weeks and stopped running. But
he was no Herbie.
Yeah, no, he was not Herbie. Having said all that, walking out of that movie and gushing over the look of it, to me, that's like kind of walking out of a Pixar film and raving about the animation. It's Pixar. It's the gold standard in animation. That aspect should always be good. What about the story? How relatable were the characters? How intriguing was the plot? What was the emotional journey of the story? That kind of thing. A good story can make up for the lack of a striking visual style, I guess. But a strong, unique visual style will never make up for a bad story. And this was a terrible story. And not just the story, the characters, to me, failed to deliver on this one. And I know you said, like, we'll get to look at the characters and look, that ain't spoilers. You can look at these people and see what they look like. This movie was terribly cast.
If you want to touch that,
I'm touching, dude. This is going to be the Tupac hit 'em up of movie reviews.
Go ahead, Chris Toucher. Go ahead,
Chris Toucher.
Yeah, just be like a blind man in the museum. Touch everything.
Say, man, this movie was terribly cast. Nothing against the actors. They're all talented. They just are not the Fantastic Four. They don't seem to embody those characters. Pedro Pascal is no Reed Richards. I didn't think he looked like him. From the moment they cast him, I'm like, he just don't look the part.
No.
I was even more skeptical when I saw him rocking a mustache and all the promotional materials. And I'm like, I'm a comic book reader. I remember when Spider-Man was rocking the black outfit, when Superman went blue. I remember when Aquaman grew out his hair and had a beard. I don't remember Reed Richards ever sporting a mustache for any significant period of time whatsoever, to where it was so important that he had a mustache in this film.
I've seen him with a beard, but I looked through some of my old books. I've never seen him with a mustache.
But I'm Pedro Pascal. I should have a mustache.
Yeah, but that looked like he came out of a... I'm with you. It looked like he came out of a 70s skin flick or something. It's just, yeah.
Well, I mean, he did kind of had a beard. Like his mustache was fully grown, but his beard was just mostly stubble.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
and-
Yeah, but
You know what's
didn't
funny
even-
is that my youngest, I took my youngest to go see it, and she's like, "Is that Tony Stark?" I'm like, "No, that's not Tony Stark.
that's bad. Now that's bad.
That's not even Howard Stark. Oh, they got a rocking the same mustache."
Oh man,
he barely even had a touch of gray around the temples.
that
Like it was noticeable at times, not noticeable at others. And so it just makes me wonder if Pedro Pascal was filming like 2 movies at once, and much like Henry Cavill's Superman, they're like, look, he can't shave the stash. So I don't know why they made that choice. I'd love to know why. It wasn't like it was that mustache was significant to the character in any way, shape, or form.
no.
Also, Reed Richards he's portrayed as your typical brilliant mind who's good with equations but bad with people. It's just that same familiar archetype you've seen so many times. Jesse Eisenberg, A Social Network, that comes to mind. You generally have that guy where the trade-off is he's brilliant, but he's just bad with people. However, I can't think of too many smart decisions Reed Richards made in this movie whatsoever.
I was gonna say the same thing later. Yes.
I'll just mention one right now because it was in the trailer. What idiot tells the world that the entire planet could be saved if he opted to trade away his unborn son, but decided not to? Like, wouldn't you just stand there and say, look, sorry guys, negotiation failed. Galactus is an asshole. There's no talking to that guy. What do you want me to do? I mean, he's hell-bent on destroying Earth. We're going to do our best to stop him. Why
Would you give him that? Yeah.
would
Yeah.
you put a target on your wife's back
Hey, yo, baby.
and your baby
Oh, baby.
and say something? It's just stupid.
You know the other thing he tried to take credit for? I don't know if he could, but like when he did I'm policing the whole, I'm childproofing the whole city. Like, no, that's just calling the cops. Like, yeah, he didn't do anything genius smart.
No, he's neurotic in how he approaches his work. He's clumsy in the way he connects with people. There's just nothing identifiable about this guy whatsoever, unless you identify with someone who needs his wife to teach him how to connect with human beings and how to think and feel. That's the only. He just does not resonate at all. Like there's no. I always judge it by the kid test. Like, do you ever watch a TV show or movie with a kid? Watch it with a young kid. Within 5 or 10 minutes, one kid will be like, "That's me. That's me. That's me." No one is pointing and saying I'm Reed Richards in this movie. Even his powers, which barely ever even came into play, just made him look even more awkward. Let's get to Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. Again, talented actress, but just looks all kinds of wrong for this part. She genuinely looks haunting.
Haunting.
Like, she looks like she should be the bride in the Haunted Mansion more than she should be Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four. For Halloween, I'm getting a cardboard cutout of that woman and I'm putting it in my upstairs window to scare the out of the kids. Now, in the movie, she's the glue that holds the team together, and there's nothing wrong with that, but then she's also portrayed as the most sensible member of the team. She's also portrayed as the most powerful member of the team. She's also portrayed as the most diplomatic member of the team. They actually go out of their way at the beginning of the movie to let you know that she negotiated a peace treaty that only she could have possibly negotiated. Only her could have got it. Even the guy she negotiated with, which we'll get to in the spoilers, gets on TV and says, I would have only dealt with Sue Storm. So they just made her the typical, I'm the magnificent one, I'm the star of the group. It's shouldn't be called the Fantastic Four. It should be called Sue Storm and a bunch of mediocre.
And the
Yeah.
dips.
Yeah,
And 3-4 other people.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Pips. As for the guy who played the Thing, man, you can only really go by the voice. And that voice is not how I imagine the Thing sounding in my head. He sounded half asleep most of the time.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah.
that's milk toast.
The most identifiable phrase that the Thing says, he won't say it. And then when he finally does it at the end, it just felt all kinds of wrong. The CGI for the Thing I felt was kind of hit and miss, good in moments, bad in others. There were just angles and shots of him that looked way off. Once again, going back to the power thing, you see him piloting ships more than you see him actually showcasing what he as the Thing can do.
Yeah, that your thing about his catchphrase, which I mean, it's if you know the Fantastic Four, I don't know it, and I know his catchphrase. It's clobbering time thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I think they meant for that to be more of a payoff when it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like that when it
No.
actually happened.
No.
It wasn't, especially when you look at the movie executes. So again, we'll get to that in spoilers. Completely, ugh.
yeah. He has a whole bunch of other phrases he says in the comics that are not, of course, as powerful as that one, but he didn't even use that in typical dialogue. So
No.
yeah, it was like totally non-thing.
Non-thing. Joseph Quinn is a Human Torch. Okay, so he probably lived up to embodying his character the most. And once again, the actor did great with the part, but he just, again, there's just a creepy look about him. I don't know if it's the pale skin with the albino eyes and the terrible haircut that makes him look like a creepier young William Dafoe. I don't know what it is, but it's even weird looking when he flames out. Like, I thought the Chris Evans version of the Human Torch looked much cooler
Yeah.
than this Cheeto dusted version that we got with Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because like when I knew this movie, when I knew I was going to see this movie, that's all got stuck in my head. Because like I said, Deadpool is like my benchmark, at least on this side.
Yeah.
And I remember Chris Evans being the Human Torch there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this looks different.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that you're exactly right. It doesn't help that you just saw Chris Evans on the big screen about a year ago and you saw what the Human Torch should look like. That wasn't this. He was orange most of the time. I mean, it was his face, but he was orange.
Yeah.
Right.
Orangish reddish kind of thing. I liked a little bit of the chemistry between the Thing and Johnny Storm. They had some good moments interacting. Never laugh out loud. You know, just kind of the humor was mostly miss. I don't know about you, but no one in the theater laughed at a single joke.
No.
No, there's maybe a light chuckle and that was about it.
Yeah. But I mean, I thought Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis had great on-screen relationship with the antagonistic back and forth between the Thing and the Human Torch. So, yeah. So the story. All right. So beyond the casting. I mean, the casting was just all kinds of wrong. None of those guys felt like they were right for the part. The story. I had no idea that when they were calling this movie Fantastic Four First Steps, that it was just an allusion to how much this movie was going to be about a freaking baby.
Maybe that's why they called it that.
That's exactly why they called it that.
That's what I was.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I think First Steps, I'm like, oh, they're talking about how they're, you know, making their first steps beyond into a bigger universe and they're going to, you know, join because I knew they were on a different universe and they were going to be joining the main universe.
Right.
So that's what I thought the allusion was to. But no, it was really all about a baby.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the origin story or anything.
That's what I was
else.
expecting, like an origin, yeah.
It had so many things, but yeah, baby.
Yeah,
I was
baby. It
explaining
was all
my,
baby.
My little one, she's like, who are these people? I was like, oh, I think this is I literally told her this at the beginning of the movie. I was like, I think this is more like an origin story. You're gonna learn about them.
I told that to Lily too, and she went. I was like, "This is a movie that look," because she didn't really want to go see it. And I'm like, "Look, this is a movie that it's going to be like an origin story. This is the first time they're doing this version of it, so yeah, you won't be
You'll
lost
be fine,
at all."
yeah.
But really, all they gave you was like a 5-minute clip of, "Oh, these are who these guys are." Well, you know, I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
All right, let's get back to the story of it. It was as if Marvel said, "What if we took one of the most powerful superhero teams that we have that's never properly been portrayed on screen one time and made them play second fiddle to a baby in their own movie?" They might as well just call it Fantastic Four Superheroes and a Baby.
4 superheroes
Yeah,
and a baby.
Superheroes and a baby.
Yeah, because the whole plot was very Ghostbuster 2-ish, you know?
Yeah.
The villain wants to kidnap a baby for some stupid reason to be reborn or
Vigo.
I don't know, whatever it is. He is Vigo.
Is Vigo.
Is there a baby in the comic books?
I mean, yes.
We
There is?
talked about
Okay.
this
Yes.
afterwards. There is a Franklin
Okay.
Reed,
There's
which-
a Franklin Richards.
Oh, there's a Franco. Okay.
My biggest question, Eli, when we walked out of that film was, all right, so what's his superhero? Surely they're not running around going, oh, shoot, run for cover, bad guys. It's Franklin. Like, what's his superhero name? Eli's like, I honestly don't think he has one. He's Franklin.
He's
Yeah.
Franklin.
He's Franklin.
Yeah, look, maybe they've altered it. We could go and run and Google it. But since I've read most Fantastic Four stories when they were reborn and born again and stuff, various artists that I love drew them. Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, a bunch of people. He's always been Franklin.
And with a name like Franklin, what more do you need?
Yeah, but he doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Even as a kid, and his powers grew when he was a kid, not a baby. When he was just a baby, he was just a baby.
Get the baby.
Just a baby.
What a baby!
So, yes, there's to a point that both of you gentlemen made, and this is probably the biggest sin of this movie, is that there's very little action in the movie. There wasn't nearly enough action in this. And I'm not someone who needs an action beat every 15 minutes or anything, but this movie got excruciatingly boring at times. There was literally a point about an hour and a half in the movie where I asked out loud, is somebody going to fight someone or what? And that actually got more chuckles out of the people in the theater than anything that was on the screen. They never laughed, never applauded once. Just saying. Fantastic Four's powers, which are supposed to be what makes them fantastic, are hardly ever used. And when they were used, it wasn't anything memorable. Like, oh man, remember that thing where the Thing just did this? No, the best memory you have of a Thing is when he did the cannonball.
All right.
Yeah. Johnny Storm probably got to showcase his powers. He's tied with Sue Storm, but he probably got to showcase his powers. But that was just so he could keep the story of the Silver Surfer going, because he had to be able to fly to keep up with her. That was really the only reason to show Johnny's powers. It wasn't like he did anything all that remarkable with fire. It was just because he was the only one who could fly. No overabundance of humor, no intriguing side plots that are holding your interest in the meantime while they're just dragging you through this boring, non-interesting, never-ending story that just never seems to get anywhere. All the character arcs are overly simple, completely predictable. You can see where the scenes are going well before they actually get there. The villain Galactus is just boring. Again, unrelatable, generic villain, no depth whatsoever to him. I have no idea what his powers are in the movie outside of being tall. In the comics, I know that Galactus wouldn't have had to walk to go find a baby.
No, he does not. He does not show up on the planet
It
and walk
like
it.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, exactly.
New York.
But in slow motion,
Right.
Kind of like,
No.
come on, like this is not Galactus. This is not how he operates. He's well more cosmic, well more powerful than this. And
Yes.
you played him like an overgrown, big, slow klutz.
Yeah.
That's how you played him. I wasn't even sure what his motivation was. It seems to have either been that he wanted to kidnap a baby or eat the Earth, or maybe even both, because that's what seems to play out in some kind of a way. And it's just a mess. This whole movie is a mess. It's completely predictable. The pacing was slow. The plot just dragged on. There's little to no action. The characters aren't overly interesting. The villain is lifeless and not that hard to defeat. And the CGI is very hit and miss. There are moments where the Thing is holding the baby, or the baby's just interacting with, and you could tell they're not really holding a baby. It just looked wrong. Sometimes laughably wrong.
I laughed.
It's a boring mess of a movie that I can't imagine anyone who ever kept up with the comics enjoying this. If you want to see a superhero movie that's all about a family where the villain tries to steal their baby and they stop him, watch The Incredibles. It's a far better movie. This movie sucked.
Oh, that's what it felt like. It felt like The Incredibles, especially since they had an underground dude.
Yes.
well, yeah.
Underminer, who was based on Mole Man, by the way.
Right.
Like, the Underminer did him better than they did Mole.
Right.
We
Mole
won't
Man.
get to Mole Man.
Yeah, but this doesn't spoil anything. I mean, I'm sorry. You
No,
that's
was
something.
it.
Okay,
I told you I had a lot to say. I was mad.
I'll blame you. I was holding my anger back, but yeah, you took me there, and I'm with you. Like, it's pretty much, you didn't see the older ones.
No, I didn't
So-
see those ones. Yeah.
But it's pretty much like if you took.
Are those better?
I think the Rise of the Silver Surfer is better than this one.
Okay.
There's just some parts of it that I was like, oh man, I wish they would have did this. And then it was like, in this movie, they like the Galactus pretty. Yeah, what am I saying? Like, Galactus in this movie, at least he's Galactus, and that's the most credit I can give them,
yeah.
as opposed to this.
I was
going
going to get into Galactus's look, but since they haven't showed him in the trailer, I was kind of being quiet on that.
yeah.
But in the older films, they portrayed Galactus. Galactus wasn't portrayed as a man; he was portrayed as a cloud.
Right.
Oh,
And I
okay.
remember when that movie came out, Ian and I talked about it, and he's like, "Man, how are they going to go ahead and portray Galactus as a cloud?" And I said, "Well, think about it." I was like, "I kind of get it." I was like, "I'm with you. It's kind of broke that they would take Galactus and do him like that, but at the same time, how are you going to do it on film where you got a large man just showing up on a planet and eating it? Like, how are you going to portray that on film?" And at least they had the guts to go ahead about doing it. But having said it, this is exactly what I was afraid of what was going to happen if you did have Galactus as a man showing up on a planet. It looked, like you said, like just Stay Puft Marshmallow.
No,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
did look weird. And to your point, you're right. And then I was going to say, before I jump right back to that, this movie is like a combination of The Incredibles meeting Rise of the Silver Surfer. So
Okay.
if you see them both, you pretty much got it. But I thought there was when they first meet Galactus, we don't need to go into details, but when they first meet him, I thought that was going to be like the the end kind of scene where they were going to be, because that would have made more sense. He was in this area. He was in huge space. They were really small. You know what I mean? Like, it was a cooler setting than how it ended with him actually being on Earth and being like, oops, there's a building. Oops, sorry, I fell on that. Like, it would have had a more cosmic, powerful ending had they did that. But then, like Robert De Niro said, they blew it. They blew it.
You know what's funny about this movie? I felt like if you took
Nothing.
Did you feel something?
Nothing.
Well, no. I mean, not actually funny guffaw, but like the first thing that popped in my head is like if I took Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, I could take this story and stick it into that ride,
Yeah.
and it'd be the same thing. Which, to be honest, Cosmic Rewind, the story is not that great.
Not at
It's
all.
the same thing
No.
with this. It's like you could easily take the shell and just throw it in there, and nobody would bat an eye.
Yeah.
You just replace the dude that's there with the Galactus, and boom.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where there are a few reviewers like on YouTube and stuff like that I like to watch because I don't trust the sites anymore because you got so many bots and so many people manipulating the ratings. To
AI
make
writing
people
and
think,
stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Make them think it's a good movie so that way they'll go out and watch it and get tricked into forking over their money for a piece of crap. There were reviewers that I saw that I trusted, that I watch, and all I can think about is that they've been corrupted. I don't know how anyone walked away from this movie and gave it 5 stars. I just don't know. I don't get it. Like, at least, like, I walked that movie, I'm like, I'll give it 2 stars for the effort.
Yeah.
Like with the design and everything like that. I'm not like, because in today's day and age, it's always, it's either 5 stars or 1 star. There's no in between. I would give this one 2 stars, and I hated it, and I would still give it 2 stars for the effort of the look
Yeah.
that they put forth
Right.
and how they gave a little eye candy here or there. But yeah, no, I did not. I was not a fan whatsoever. I just was not. I don't see how anybody else is walking away with this saying this was good. Pardon me. I'm sorry. Not that it was good. That was great.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can almost see, okay, it was good, but there was this, but there was that. No. This is not a 5-star movie. Not even close.
I have seen when you were talking about the never seen the Fantastic Four thing, like that was the funny thing, because we saw this movie last night and I didn't know how to really put everything I saw into words until the commercial came on when I woke up this afternoon, right? And it was like, literally it said, this is the best superhero movie ever made. And that is a
That's big.
that's a very big sentence to say. Now, if you say this
They
is
must
the
have been
best,
since Superman Legacy came out.
yeah, right? I
Like,
mean,
are we starting since yesterday? 'Cause
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're talking about from this month
forward.
This
Yeah.
week.
yeah,
This week forward.
Yeah.
you got
They
me.
may be right.
You got me. Yeah, but if you're saying ever,
Forever, ever?
nah, I'm like,
It's not even in the top 30.
no. And so the funny thing is right after that, the Silver Surfer movie came on. And I said, you know what? I'm going to sit and like watch this. And yeah, I was more entertained seeing a movie that I really wasn't too hyped about when it came out. But it was more fun to watch that. And the Mike Chiklis thing looks bad, but the acting, the way him and Chris Evans like went off and played off each other, throwing fireballs at you, like
It
was fun.
Yes. The way they interacted, the voice sounded like
the
the
voice
thing to
sounds
me.
like it's supposed to
Yes,
sound.
that's exactly what, to me, the thing should sound like. And then there was also, if you watch the Michael Chiklis version of the thing, there is a part of him trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm this hideous rock monster creature. The rest of you got these super cool powers and get to live your life as a celebrity. Look at me, I'm a freak. I'm this and that. There was none of that in this movie. You
No.
got elements of, like, you see him walking around kind of looking a little bit sad, and he's talking to some girl, but he's like, yeah, I just want to see how you're doing and everything like that.
Yeah,
But
where'd that go? Like,
Yeah,
that was
it's
so pointless.
unnecessary, because there wasn't no subplot between the two of them where you're wondering if they were going to get together.
Mhm.
Nothing. So yeah, I mean, watching this movie, you didn't get any of the pathos that you felt from Michael Chiklis' version of the thing having to be the thing.
Yeah, and he got a girl, and I mean, granted, she's blind in the movie, but
Right.
I mean, they talk about the differences, they talk about relationships. So in other words, you can still have that sensitivity, you can still have the thought of romance and how do superheroes cope with this and that? If you want to, I get it. I like action. I admit it. I'm guilty of that. But this movie just has none of that. Like it's almost like, okay, so the Fantastic Four is a family and then they became superheroes. I got that. But this is like a family that forgot they were superheroes, like completely. And then even on top of that, they still can't get their own family issues right. Like a normal family can't get their own issues right. But if one of you can turn invisible and the other one can like stretch to do other stuff, well, have fun with that. I would have taken that. I got none of that. Best superhero movie ever. Like
Your foot.
yeah, like I was literally mad. Like I'm like, what am I missing as a comic book fan? Like I've watched so many of these movies that I went from being a purist and saying, okay, it should be exactly like the comic, ... to saying, look, as long as they show the guy wearing the same costume, like I'll take that. But now they're revising and they're redoing it. And again, the look was great. The uniforms, I've seen that in the comics. Like, so it's like, okay, you're trying.
I even like there was a scene in there where they actually, in the 5-minute clip that they kind of gave you at the very beginning of like old footage or allegedly old footage where they were showing the superheroes,
the Jack Benny stuff.
Yeah, they were showing them do their thing. They recreated the cover of Fantastic Four #1.
Yeah.
They actually recreated the cover, and I thought that was really kind of cool.
Yes, I was looking forward to that when the monster comes out and flying around.
And it's a cool looking monster, and
and that's a Kirby tribute. Again, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, I remember telling you, like, I remember when I was in art school, somebody like redrew that, so it like triggered that thought. So I was like, oh, that's cool. The origin part, I was like, I thought they were just gonna say, hey, we're just gonna assume that you know these guys, and we're gonna assume that you've seen the 2 movies, so we're just gonna speed past that. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I wasn't too worried about that.
Yeah, I was cool with that. A little montage to explain what happened, how they became who they were. But it wasn't just that. They montaged not only their origins, but them actually becoming who they were.
Yeah, them actually doing superhero stuff.
Right.
That was at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's cool. You should not do that to your fans. If you put in the advertisement showing them fighting cool monsters and stuff like that, and then when the movie comes out, it's just here's 2 clips of it in the first 2 minutes, and then that's it. That is wrong.
It's called bait and switch.
As I know. I wish I could switch my money back in my wallet.
Fortunately, it was my money.
Oh, yeah. I switched the money back to you after they switch it back to me.
I appreciate that.
That's no problem. Yes. Okay.
All right, yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the spoiler part. What we're going to do is we're going to give you ample time to hit pause on this. We're going to take a commercial, and then we're going to hit the spoiler music. And so in that time, if you haven't hit stop, man, we're going to give it to you. We're going to talk about all the stuff, ruin all the things. And so if you haven't watched the movie, you've been fairly warned. So let's go ahead here. Quick commercial, and then I'll give you a warning, a final warning. All right, so there was it, man. That's your chance. All right, here it comes. Spoilers. Spoilers. And to break the spoiler off, the baby saves the mom from dying at the very end.
God.
Sue Storm on the brink of death, or it looks like she's dead. And all of a sudden, the baby's power has come to life and brings back Mama.
When you do the spoiler part, I always like to do the duet now, but
yeah,
and thank you for allowing me to do that.
Yeah.
But whenever I always am curious as to what you're going to pull and say,
how am I going to break the spoiler? Yeah.
And I was praying to myself that you wouldn't start with that one.
No.
I was like, that's probably like, when I saw the baby crawl on it, I was like, please don't.
Oh, I saw that coming when I saw the baby reaching for Mama. I was like,
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it in the theater out loud. And again, this one also got a reaction. Oh, man, he's going to use some baby man.
Oh, my. I was like, please don't let that be the thing. And we saw, and Lily came with us.
Yes.
And I'm so glad Lily came with us because it was a good barometer for me because, like, well, maybe I'm kind of out of touch with, like, how things are. But by having her being younger sitting there and she was like, no, not the baby.
I will call, Lily's not in here. I would call Lily right now. And I bet you if I sat down like, Lily, sum up this movie in 2 words. She's going to Magic baby.
Magic baby.
Magic
That's
baby.
all she's gonna say.
Yes.
And that was a magic baby. He floated.
He was
He
CGI.
crawled on Galactus. I started laughing when he was crawling on Galactus. He pees. He's bringing people back to life by touching them. Like, he just magic baby.
Magic baby.
And that's the other thing when they're having, this was one of the more uncomfortable few action scenes that they had, right? When they're running from the Silver Surfer, the female Silver Surfer lady, and they're in space, and then she's giving birth to the magic baby.
I know, that was wild.
Her pants float off.
Yeah. That whole scene, we were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Like, that whole scene was uncomfortable. She's grunting. They're like, we're going to die.
What was
You know?
even weird is like the thing that said, whatever the robot's name, Herbie, take care of ship, and he went to deliver the baby.
Yeah, we said that too.
What?
Yeah.
Some executive must have been like, okay, we can't have this movie go over 2 hours. Movies under 2 hours. Can we combine the giving birth scene with the space chase escape scene? Is there a way to do that?
I mean, but that's the thing. Okay, so then you have you got to give birth.
Got to push it out.
Yeah, you got to push it out.
She was under a lot of stress, you know.
Well, Galactus forced the baby to come.
Yeah, well, that's right. It was high stress.
Yeah, like no. He did some little magic-y thing to her tummy, and he made the baby come.
Come to me.
Yes.
Oh man,
He was like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
I want my baby
Reed
back. Give
Richards.
it back, give it back.
I'm gonna make you a deal, Reed Richards. You keep the Earth, and I'll get the baby.
In my belly.
But I mean, if you want to pick one of those people to help catch your baby, do you really pick the guy that's made of rock to do that? Like,
Apparently. He cooks too.
The thing cut the umbilical cord. He didn't even offer the scissors to Reed Richards. He just cuts the umbilical cord.
It's cutting time.
it's cutting time. Oh my god. That was
so strange.
Oh, it was terrible.
That was I was not comfortable watching that scene at all. And then the ladies, the Silver Surfer.
I was sitting next to my daughter when that happened.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of explaining when you know like.
She understood.
Oh
15,
man, that was uncomfortable. Totally. But yeah, Magic Baby. Like, if the whole movie wants to be about Franklin, they should just again put that in the movie. But that was not worth saving. He could not resurrect the movie. Maybe he could resurrect his mama, but not that.
Okay, can I talk about my biggest issue plot-wise with this movie? I mean, beyond it,
Yes.
everything I said before. Plot-wise with this movie. They start off with a plan. This is Reed Richards, super genius.
Yes.
Must have studied out under Wile E. Coyote. Also super genius.
Bought Acme equipment.
Yes. His plan is to teleport to Earth to a different location. Now, not only does that seem like extraordinarily stupid, considering that you have no idea where you're going to be teleporting the planet to. Like, does this place have a sun? How far are you going to be from the sun? I mean, because the Earth will just freeze over. I mean, would you be teleporting it into the orbit of another planet that's just going to come across? What is you don't even know where you're going to be teleporting the planet, but that's your only plan. That's your A+ plan.
Yeah, you can see
All because of an egg.
Yeah, well, that's the second part where this gets stupid, Kev. How is this plan supposed to work? Because every single time we saw Reed Richards demonstrate how teleportation worked, it was based upon a 2-part system by which you had a sending teleporter
unit,
and then a receiving teleporter. So I'm not sure when the Fantastic Four built a receiver in some other location out in outer space in some other universe. Did y'all catch that?
I didn't.
So how are they teleporting it somewhere?
I think Jodie Foster did it in Contact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They
I'm
sent
going
her
for
through one of
Stargate.
those little things, and she brought it over.
And it's Galactus you're running from. He's a planet eater. That's like saying, hey, we're gonna shut the Wendy's down in your area, Eli, but somewhere else is a Wendy's. Well, I got a car. I'll find the Wendy's. Like, the man eats planets. Pretty sure he's gonna run across your planet.
That was a weird thing for me. Is like, how do you know he can't find you?
Right.
I mean, he's Galactus. I mean,
He's Galactus.
at some point he's going to find you,
Yeah.
regardless of how far you go.
Well, I think in the comics, Galactus can just teleport to wherever he needs to be, right?
Yeah. He just. I mean, usually in the comics he sits on a big throne, which I will give him that positive. Like they kept that visual, but yeah, he usually sits on a big throne, flies.
But he was in
over.
a ship.
Yeah, okay, so that's another thing that I was like, how are they going to get this big ass dude out of that spaceship and onto the Earth?
Yeah, he doesn't show up on Earth in the books. That doesn't happen.
bigger than
no,
Earth?
of course.
Huh? Yes,
he's bigger than the Earth.
Put the
Okay.
Earth in his hand.
Now he can
He could shrink.
adjust his
Adjust-
size,
Yeah.
but
So like Hank Pym.
why would he?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Like I except that he wanted the baby. I thought it was a deal. It was either or. I get the baby or I eat Earth. One of the two. I'll be fine with either one. But apparently he wanted both. He wanted to get the baby, and then as soon as he gets the baby, he's like, he says something like, "I'm hungry," or it's time to feed, or something like that. And it's like, okay, so he was gonna do this anyway.
Yeah. Well, it was like, okay, let's say they said we're not giving you the baby, eat the Earth. So you would have ate a successor anyway. See, it does none of it matters.
But the weird thing about all of that, him coming to Earth, was that he had a spaceship that apparently has a tractor beam. Like, why did he have to come to Earth to find the baby? And he has eyes that could look for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He could spot the baby and then use his little tractor beam to zoom him up, right?
Yeah, he's like a celestial or something like that. I mean,
So why did he have to come to Earth? That's the part that confused me. I was like, why did he have to come to Earth?
Well,
So
that's
the
what
movie
I was
can
gonna-
happen.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say in the non-spoiler part. I thought when they first showed him and they were all in space, I thought at some point he was going to take the baby somehow. Like I thought the Silver Surfer was going to grab the baby and then take the baby up to him, and they were going to fight him like in space up there. Because they're astronauts. He's in space. It's a cool scene. It would have made sense, and it would have been a killer ending.
No, but he has to come to Earth and take a glance at the Statue of Liberty for some reason.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
I don't know why he did that.
In baby prophecy storytelling 101, the bad guy always grabs the baby to start, or grabs the kid, whatever they're going to sacrifice to keep the story going forward. They have the kid and they're going to sacrifice. They've been done in The Golden Child. I've seen it in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, in other words, he should have captured the kid. And then right when he's going to do whatever he's going to do, they stop that. Like, that would have at least heightened the story, heightened the threat. Because in this movie, even if they're threatened, they were so milquetoast, like we said earlier, and so calm, you never felt like they were being threatened. If someone's chasing you and you're like, hey, I got to give birth while we being attacked, like that's a high pressure situation. Nobody should be, all right, you want me to get the cord and you want to steer the ship? Got it. Make everything invisible. We okay.
Well, it's all about you're not taking my baby.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
That's strong.
Mama, you're not taking my baby.
That was strong.
And then she got superhuman strength, super mama strength at the end to push the dude into whatever.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
The invisible force field to push a whole galactic
No,
being?
yeah.
That seemed a lot. That seemed a little too much. And like to have the other guys not help much.
Exactly.
Nope.
I was like, okay, there's an agenda here.
Yeah, there's a definite agenda there. I mean, look, they made the weakest member of the Fantastic Four. No offense, but she was the weakest member of the Fantastic Four. They took her and she made her someone who was able to defeat a cosmic giant with force fields and the power of a mother's love.
And they had this Ted Lasso's doctor as their assistant.
Yes.
I couldn't get past it. I was like, oh, that's Ted Lasso.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
absolutely what it was. But I mean, it was definitely agenda driven with that, and that's not even a call out the I don't know what you can call it, like the agenda behind it. We need the powerful woman with a bunch of dorky men that couldn't tie their shoelaces together if
put
she
in a
wasn't
car
around.
seat.
Man.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they three dorks, and she's just sitting there watching them,
Right.
struggle to put in the car seat. Yeah, it's definitely agenda driven. You're right, Kev. But I mean, that's not even what makes this movie terrible. Like I could have even forgiven the messaging as long as it was entertaining. It failed to entertain.
Yeah, it was definitely
It failed to
not.
entertain. It failed to make sense. It failed to resonate. It failed to connect. It failed on every level.
Did you like the female Silver Surfer, the chick from Ozark or whatever?
I didn't care.
I hear
I
you.
really didn't care. I mean, like I don't get the point of sidelining one of your most iconic and tragic figures in the Silver Surfer that we all know to introduce this female version of him that I don't even remember. I'm not even aware that this version existed in the comics.
in a different time, right?
That was going to be my question because like the only thing The only thing I know about the Silver Surfer, other than like he was in a Fantastic Four movie, was like Crimson Tide when they had that discussion between the Kirby Silver Surfer and the Mobius Silver Surfer.
Oh,
That's
wow.
about it. I don't know much about Silver Surfer.
He has his own cartoon on, I think maybe it's on Disney Plus or something like that. But no, there is another. There's
He
a
was
female
forced
Silver
into
Surfer, another
servitude.
thing,
So, like, yeah, he does have kind
So
of a tragic
that's the thing.
backstory
Okay,
and everything
I got
like
it.
that.
Yeah, it's
And
a
they-
tragic story.
Yeah, and so he's a good figure, and he's somebody that you would have expected to see. Like, if you're not using him here, I don't know when you're going to use him again.
No.
I don't know what his function would be going forward if you decided to sideline him for this.
He would be a cool story. He would make a cool movie.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
They haven't done that, have they?
No, not on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not on his own. But it seems like they did this just so they could, diversity, but diversity for the sake of diversity isn't exactly meaningful. And two, they wanted to make a lot of sexy naked alien jokes. That is the only reason I can think of for the female Silver Surfer.
For Johnny Storm, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only reason I can. But did her existence bother? Like, no, it didn't bother me at all. It's just like entertain me.
Yeah.
And then maybe the politics of this will wash over me because I'm too busy wrapped up in what's happening. But no, when you don't entertain, then what your agenda is, as Kevin put it, it's fairly obvious.
No, it makes it flat. I mean, again, if you see the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, that it's pretty much some of the same action sequences with
Oh, really?
Johnny Storm and Silver Surfer. Like you said, Danny said earlier, with them just flying and comparing. But then there was the whole, the smooth talker. He was like, "Yeah, I learned your language and stuff." I mean, that was cool. But again,
That's not Johnny Storm.
that's what I was gonna say. It's not Johnny. It's Johnny Storm the flirt. Be like, "Oh, that's a hot chick."
Yes.
But it's not Johnny Storm's style to figure out an algorithm to be able to talk to an alien chick. That's Reed Richards' thing.
About to
Yes.
say, can he do that, Johnny Storm?
No, Johnny Storm.
Okay.
Johnny Storm.
He's
is,
like Playboy.
he's a
Right,
playboy.
yeah.
Exactly. And
He's
he's
not a
fun
millionaire
character.
philanthropist.
Yeah, I mean, so it's almost like they gave the powers to different people, and
They
it
spread
didn't-
it out.
Yeah, and so it wasn't truly those characters as I'm used to seeing them. And again, maybe that's where this is going, where people like to experiment. Say, yeah, we could just make this work for the sake of whatever this narrative is that cinema is doing. But to say it's true to the comic book or best superhero movie ever, I just can't buy that.
no.
Can their car can fly, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
can always
Fantastic
fly.
Like
Four.
without
fly.
Sue Storm's help.
Yeah, it doesn't
Correct.
need that. Yeah.
No,
and
no,
Herbie
no.
was good. I
Herbie-
did like
I loved
Herbie.
Herbie.
Herbie was a plus. Just to give on that. That was like old school retro
I might
like
Well,
cartoon on that.
Herbie
I bring up
figure.
the car only because at the end, Sue Storm drives it because he knows Galactus is going after the baby in their little
Yeah.
building,
Mhm.
but she's driving the car to try to intercept Galactus instead of flying.
Well, what didn't Sue Storm do?
Too strong to do it all.
Like, but why did she drive? I was like, why did she just fly
I mean,
to go to chase? That wouldn't have been faster.
yeah, she could have just maybe put herself in an invisible bubble with the powers
Yeah.
this one had and just go up there. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't understand that. That threw me
There-
big
look,
time.
powers work when they wanted them to work. They didn't work when they did. Like, again,
Mhm.
I watch this film and tell me that Galactus is anything but a really big guy.
Has he ever been in the MCU before?
Yes,
He was-
Well, not in the MCU,
No. Oh,
but
okay.
in the Fox version of it. Like I said, he was represented as
he was a
a
big cloud.
cloud.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And that's
He was far more formidable though than just this big lumbering giant. I even we talked about this yesterday. I feel bad, but I mean, I'm sorry. Galactus looked weird to me. I'm like, why? I mean, he's just a guy in a suit. Why is it so much CGI? And then we found the voice actor who portrayed him. Because I was like, Galactus looks awkward for just being a guy in a suit, but it looked just like the guy who portrayed him, the voice actor. That guy looks really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, but that voice actor, that looks a lot like Galactus.
Oh, okay.
Look him up and you will see the nose and the mouth, and it's very distinctive.
Had to get some facial features in there to pay him. I guess.
Yeah, well-
yeah, he looks. Yeah, it looks like one part of his face is here, the other part's here. It's kind of weird.
Speaking of facial features, the Thing's beard.
I'm glad you got back to that.
Does
yes.
he? I was going to ask that.
So was Reed Richards' sweet stash not enough? I mean, we need more facial hair in this movie. That's what this movie is missing.
Bald beard.
So we had to actually dedicate a scene to the thing growing a beard. Like that was actually minutes or seconds or whatever it was. I didn't time it of film time of him explaining why he couldn't shave no more. Like that was a whole, like, I'm sure they cut something that was way more valuable than the thing having to have a beard.
I was wondering why he was shaving.
Well, that's a thing. I mean, so if he can grow a beard, that means he has rock hair. So why is he bald?
He's got a cul-de-sac.
Like, is he shaving his head too? Like, and even if he had thing pattern baldness, he'd still have some rock features around the rim, right? Like around the
like
temples.
a Caesar.
Yeah.
Big patterned bald.
A thing comb over.
It was stupid. And his best move is cannonballing Galactus to kind of maybe wobble a second before he catches balance and continued walking. That was all it was.
Yeah.
It's clobbering time. Bing.
Bing. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I really thought there was going to be like a big combo set of moves or something, and he would be the big punch behind it. But yeah, that was again, he delivers his most powerful line like milquetoast.
It was ineffective, yeah. Well, they had to make Sue Storm the big strong.
Why though?
For this.
Unless
I don't know.
It's just agenda driven. It's like, why?
It's a family.
They should have worked together. It should have been a family
victory.
Absolutely.
Right, but it totally wasn't.
No.
Unless you count the fact that Sue Storm did 90% of the work. Johnny pushed a button. I think the thing knocked some columns out that knocked over a building that again made him wobble a second time.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember what the hell Reed Richards was
Reed
up to.
Richards stretched around and they got pulled.
Yeah, he was distracting him because he was getting pulled or something. I don't know.
So it was like, why didn't you just
awful.
wrap yourself around the dude's face? He couldn't see anything. Then have Sue Storm put a bubble around his head. And I don't know, like I could come up with something crazier than that.
He was freaking Stretch Armstrong him. Like, you know, and he said like, no, that's your whole thing. You can stretch. Why would that hurt?
Yeah, exactly. You rubber.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Sue Storm was also able to quell the masses that were gathering at their building.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was it. She's like almost out. She was a spokesperson. I forgot that. Of all the titles they gave her, diplomat, most powerful member of the team, most sensible man, she was also the spokesperson for the team.
Yes.
After Reed Richards screwed the pooch on that one by telling everybody, yeah, y'all all be safe if only we gave up our unborn son who we've never met, and we ain't gonna do that.
Now, to piggyback on what you said, let's not forget about Mole Man, which again, another character that they could have done a little bit more with, but nothing at all.
That dude was just, he was like, that's an insult to call him Mole Man. It wasn't
That's fair.
I'm not even saying that Mole Man is a great character, but he could have been something a little bit better than if you could take the Penguin and put Colin Farrell in that role and make him something formidable, you could have done the same with Mole Man. Instead, they turned him into a goof with glasses.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Jack Black.
Yeah, I mean, him being
like.
he was like the dude in the Cobra Kai.
Yes.
And he's a joke in that.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So it was even harder to take him seriously. And then the only purpose he had was for them to say, hey, look, we're going to
evacuate the city.
And make everybody go underground, which made me think, oh, I remember this when they had Age of Ultron, people flipped out because like, well, people are dying in this movie. So I guess they wanted to avoid that. But I'm like, come on. It's a movie.
They set the entire population of New York underground.
Right.
Yeah, it's not very easy to do.
Yep.
It is very easy. So, I mean,
overnight.
Overnight. I mean, so like, and again, like it just, a lot of it just, I guess if you're very sensitive, then this movie is for you. If you like the nostalgia, like like whoever that was, I just called him Jack Benny. But if you like
Jack Benny,
it has all these good distractions and diversions to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the tofu. It's just, it looks good. There's just nothing solid
not substance.
in it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
it wasn't enough.
No, it was not. Even look, when you start off with, okay, so you have clips of 2 to 3 seconds worth of action in the intro, and then you go about, I think it was around about the 45-second mark where you finally get a second action sequence, and that was basically the space chase that we referenced before. It wasn't the Fantastic Four exhibiting their powers. It was something more akin to Star Trek. It was something more akin to Star Wars. It was a space chase. That was the action scene, and then at the end of it, Sue gives birth. By the time we get to see the Fantastic Four exhibit some form of their powers again, it's not until the finale of the movie, which is about, now you're talking about an hour and 40 minutes in. So I mean, it's like, it really is a dull movie. Like I don't know who this is for. I really don't. And it makes me question anyone who walked away saying that this movie is a good movie. Like, I can see you saying this movie had good parts. I could see that.
It
I could
looked,
see
but
you
as a
saying this
whole,
movie had
yeah.
great visual. I could see that. I could see you liking the design. But anybody who walks away calling this a 5 out of 5 or even a 4 out of 5 is way off the mark.
That's what I say.
There's money in their pocket coming from somebody.
Yeah.
And it's not just us being out of date.
Yeah.
My young daughter, 15 years old, was laughing and
she had me
tearing
dying.
this movie apart.
She had
me laughing my butt off.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm funny. My daughter's really funny.
She's very
so
funny.
If you want, I can bring her in here and you can get her thoughts real quick.
We were singing songs and everything.
You said you went with your daughters to see it, right?
A daughter.
A daughter.
Yeah,
What
the
did she
two older
think?
ones didn't
No
had no interest at all.
Yeah.
My youngest, she liked it. She wasn't like, oh my gosh, but she knew nothing about it. And the only time she got any kind of reaction I noticed is like when the baby got saved. That's when the only time she was engaged and like actually kind of in. I mean, she's 10 years old.
Okay.
So I mean, it's simple things like that. And so outside of that, I asked her, "Do you like it?" She's like, "Yeah, I liked it."
All right.
But it's one of those like, "Yeah, I liked it."
The dismissive things.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, "Oh my god, this is great.
Dad,
I
that
gotta
was
see this
awesome.
again."
Can we see that again?
Yeah, it's not, I mean, like lately she's been watching the Harry Potter movies like nonstop. I think she's like the 4th time going through the entire cycle.
Oh, wow.
So I don't see her doing that with this movie.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to see if your child, like, but you said the youngest child.
It's the youngest. Yeah, youngest is the only one that came with me.
How old?
A 10.
Okay.
Yeah. a
So
10-year-old.
the other,
But I think she can't go in because she wanted to get Chinese buffet afterwards. So there's that.
if you
Smart
like
kid.
it, I like it too, Dad. Let's just get
Yeah,
some
I want to
food.
get Chinese
I give that
buffet.
movie 2 egg rolls.
That's right.
Rolls.
And a couple of sushi pieces and shrimp.
Oh, my God. And some
Sweet and
noodles.
sour shrimp. That's right.
Well, look, I've seen a lot of MCU movies, and I want to say, I'm going to go on record saying this. Even Iron Man 3 was better than this movie.
The house party?
Yeah. and that's a
Okay.
that's a low bar.
I never thought I'd hear that.
Me neither. I never thought I'd
You
see
got in
the day.
fights with people over Iron Man.
What about Thor 2? How does that fit?
No,
against
Thor.
this?
Wait.
Was that
Oh,
the
Thor
Dark
2
World?
Yeah,
was
Dark
bad.
World, yeah.
I'm thinking Thor 3. You're right. Thor 2 was bad, but I don't know. Like, if I had a choice between go back and watch Thor 2 or watch this movie again, I think I'd be like, well, let me see what I forgot about Thor 2.
What about elves again? Yeah, I
No,
yeah.
Hells. That's right.
Yeah.
Ether.
What about Wakanda Forever?
Oh, you had Namor in that. Namor?
Yeah, they had the blue people and they was fighting Wakandans.
I
and-
don't know. I think I could watch that again.
Yeah.
More so than this one.
Yeah.
There's definitely more action in that one,
Yeah.
and stuff. And so I could take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the urge to watch either one of them again.
But that's
okay.
how. But that's how. I wanted to kind of just understand. Just want to get a barometer because
If you had to
that's
make
how
a
bad
choice?
I think it was. But now you haven't seen. I would love for you to see Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Okay, I'll make sure I watch that. I'll be curious.
Because that was a question that I had.
Did you watch that, Danny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, ask him.
Lawrence
Okay.
Fishburne played. Well, it's been so long, it's hard to remember. But there again, if you offered me the choice, would you rather go back and watch Rise of the Silver Surfer or watch this one more time? I'd watch Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
That was the Chris Evans.
That's the
Sword?
Chris Evans one. Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch that before I would watch this.
Okay.
And my instinct is to say that one over this one.
Now you got me curious. I'm gonna go watch it.
But no, but that's not to say it's good.
Yeah.
Don't take that to mean it's good.
That's what we're saying.
it's just it's a mark as to how bad this one was.
right.
Hmm.
You got to
Okay,
remember
fair,
that.
yeah.
That's why this exercise is hard, because it's almost like, I don't know, like,
Which one sucks more?
Yeah, I didn't like it, but
would you rather get decapitated or would you rather get,
Castrated.
drawn and quartered? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that.
I mean, but that's the thing, because what triggered that and triggered this question is the fact of somebody saying that's the best superhero movie ever. And that's just,
That's
that's just wrong.
they're delusional, or either they're delusional or paid by Disney.
Okay, so have you seen the Captain America Brave New World. It's
No,
on
I
Disney
haven't-
Plus.
I
now.
hadn't
Yes.
seen that, and I haven't even seen Thunderbolts.
Yes, I did see
I-
that.
I-
Yes,
that's
I would
the
watch
damn
that
sauce.
again before I watched this.
Oh, would you? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I would watch that again before I watch this one. And it wasn't like I thought that movie was bad. When I thought that movie was good, it was kind of,
Well, I would watch that one too. But the crazy thing about saying that is, and I won't spoil that one for you, but the climaxes of that, the movie just has more action, but the climax is not on the scale of what this one is, but it still delivered more. Like, that's the crazy
Oh, that's
part.
wild.
but,
okay.
yeah.
but here's the thing. I don't want people walking away from this saying, oh my God, these guys, they just wanted action in their movie. They didn't get it. And that's why they hate the movie. It's because wasn't enough action in it. It wasn't just that.
That's fair.
The movie made no sense. The movie made zero sense. There was no plot line that ran through it that made you in any way engage with these characters. There was nothing beyond Reed Richards is a goof who can't figure out how to put together his own kid's crib.
Yeah.
Can't figure out how to put in a car seat. He's the world's smartest man, but he's a bumbling idiot without his wife.
Smartest thing he did was call the cops a lie and tell them these are where all the bad guys are. That's nothing more than an old lady that copies down people's license plates just in case she's paranoid they're going to do something in the neighborhood.
Yeah, no, but Daredevil probably had that on lock.
Yeah.
He could have left that to him.
You know, exactly. So I guess, yeah. I mean, that's fair to what we're all saying is that, I mean, I like action, but yeah, as far as what it was for a comic book movie, it just fell flat. There was just no parts
Just
where
wasn't it, huh?
there were no
Yeah.
acts that were, it kept you engaged, so you wanted to know what was going to happen in the next act. Like, how will they get out of this? It was all about them trying to figure out how to make sure the baby wasn't eaten. And that's nice. But there was nothing else beyond that. Like, you know, and they didn't even solve it in the cool way. They, like Danny said, I mean, teleporting. All right, that's cool.
It's
Teleport.
a very alien encounter.
Yeah, there's just everything
Yeah.
just died out. So yeah, these are the movies that I just mentioned that we just talked about. I mean, they were okay, but yeah, if this is the best superhero movie ever, we just went through 3 bad superhero movies that was better than the best superhero movie.
Let me put you like this. Remember when we complained about the Ant-Man and the Wasp defeating Kang?
Oh, Quantumania, that's a good comparison. Yeah, okay.
That's probably a more apt comparison. When you watch the Ant-Man and the Wasp defeat Kang and you're like, well, what the hell? Why would we ever care about Kang fighting the Avengers now? Once you watch Sue Storm pretty much single-handedly take care of Galactus. I should say single-handedly. She had help from the only other female, because Johnny tried to do it, but he got knocked off course. So then the female Silver Surfer is the one who put Galactus through the porthole for good. He was defeated, but they brought him back just so the other female could get a little shine too.
you know, get them knocks in on
Yes.
that big man.
Yeah, because he was going to do it, and then she knocked him out of the way.
Oh,
Right.
that's right, because he
Yeah.
was her boss. So that was like telling the other girl, you hit that big man one more time. I
And
hear you.
again, it's not a thing of saying like, wow, okay, a woman can't defeat. Like, no, of course. But there's something when everybody else is a goof and the one woman is the genius. And the one woman is the one, she does everything. She makes diplomatic treaties. She defeats the main bad guy. She keeps the team together. She helps teach the man how to be a dad. Like, you're the smartest guy in the world. Really, you're panicking over your wife being pregnant.
I mean, you know, and that part, if you're Reed Richards, maybe you are nervous about being married, or maybe you are nervous about having a kid, but you've been with this woman since God knows how. Like, I don't know what more commitment you could make to a woman other than going to space with her and then coming back with crazy powers. Like, at that point, marriage is kind of like, yeah, how do you top that? Well, you know, I literally will give you the moon, baby. I mean, you know, come on. Come on now.
Oh, well, look, those are our thoughts on the latest offering from Marvel. The Fantastic Four final steps?
First.
Final steps.
That should
I
be
hope
that
so.
was- I hope so.
I really hope
That was
so.
a
fun-
I
that
hope
was a
the
fun
final
slip.
steps is the first steps to get a reboot.
And we didn't even talk about the What, the Robert Downey Jr. scene?
Oh,
If that was really Robert Downey Jr., who knows?
It could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
yeah, because we
What
were
else
ready to
about
get
it?
out the theater at that point.
Did any of y'all care about that?
Not really.
Nope.
No, it was just, to me. It was just like, oh, they're trying to do the
The
Thanos thing, you know, where he shows up in the end of the movies, and like, it's whatever.
Yeah, but it's not even Thanos was a slow burn. This one is like the Avengers will return in Doomsday. Like Thanos showed up for years before Thanos was a thing.
Right, right.
Or at least was hinted
Was this
at.
the first time he was in it? Like, I haven't been keeping up with MCU, so I don't know
Yes.
if Doomsday. If Doom showed up in other ones.
No.
No, okay.
Like
No,
in
this is the first time.
Yeah, like in the movies in general.
Yeah, in the movies in general, yeah.
Post-credit scenes or anything.
Yeah, because usually that's where I learned about.
To my knowledge,
No.
this is the first.
This is the first.
Yeah,
time.
the
Okay,
first
okay.
MCU thing, but not the first time he's been on screen.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how technical you were
yeah.
trying to make it.
Yeah, the actor
so-
who played him in the other ones just
So
passed
yeah,
away.
yeah,
away, that's right.
it was whatever.
Yeah, we know what you're saying.
whatever
but-
about death?
Yeah.
No. I said whatever about Doom. That Doom
yes.
scene.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was clear for
Yeah.
anybody that listened.
Yes.
We'll see let's see what happens between now and Christmas 2026 holiday season. I think that's when Doomsday comes out.
Okay.
So let's see if he's got a year and a half to make an appearance.
That's right, guys. Because we're still going to go see Doomsday because much like Joe Pesci said in Casino, because we're stupid like that.
We'll just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Just get
We
Josh
wanna be
Whedon. Just get Josh. That's my just get Josh Whedon to do
We
this
always
one
have
time.
hope. We always have hope.
Yeah.
But look, y'all, man, we'd love to hear your thoughts about this, especially if you disagree with us or if you have alternate thoughts or whatever else. We want to hear them, man. We're about to tell you how to get in touch with us to share your thoughts and opinions. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed hearing our thoughts on the latest Fantastic Four movie. And look, if you want to learn more about us, the Magic Our Way Podcast, make sure you follow us on any social media platform. And also, if you want to get in touch with us and share your opinions, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or send us a text message. Just said it, say text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815 MOWEEKEND 669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people that do things outside the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics. What you got, sir?
Yes, sir. As always, please feel free to visit the Ivory Comics website. You'll see all the work that I have there. Project Geisha, Savages, and the Molly Be Damned. All work is 48 pages, fully colored, and the only ad in that book is for this podcast. Also, what you'll find on the Ivory Comics website are blogs and interviews, and of course, a link to the Magic Our Way podcast. So you never miss a beat, you never miss an episode, you never miss a review about milk toast and tofu. So that's some good stuff. So I always appreciate the support for the Ivory Comics website. On social media, Facebook, you can find me there, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, it's a pleasure to meet you. But if you're a bot, unless you're Herbie, I do not need to greet you.
I love me some Herbie.
Herbie was cool. Also on Facebook, there is a Project Geisha fan page. People have been visiting that. Thank you for that. So facebook.com/Project Geisha. On Instagram, you can see me right there, posting up the hearts and the likes to see what you guys and girls got. EIRE504 is where you can find me there. And of course, on X, I can be found at Hancock10166. So yes, if you appreciate the madness, then you're just giving me the gladness. Thank you very much.
I think my favorite scene with Herbie was when they changed his face. I don't know
to
why,
space?
but when he went from Earth to space like Herbie. I was like, oh wow.
Did he ever
it's-
change back though? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, God, dog.
That's funny. I don't
But
think he did.
it's almost like having a VCR where you're like, okay, day one.
Well, it's like the old
Yeah.
computer, like with the tape and stuff.
There you go. That's exactly.
Which
Yeah,
is
I
cool.
like that.
Swap it
I don't
out.
know why.
Yeah, it was
but
air
I was like,
specific.
oh,
I
that's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He needs his own movie.
Yep. All right, and if you want to book a vacation, Rachel with Wishful Wanderings Travel can definitely help.
I would be honored to help your family book your vacation to Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, and major hotel brands around the world. Booking with me is at no extra cost to you. The cost of a travel agent is built into the cost of your vacation, whether you use one or not. And when you book with me, a little bit of your trip comes back to support the podcast and the fan community here at Magic Our Way. You can reach me at Rachel, RACHEL, at magicourway.com, or you can find me at R, the letter R, Family Magic, so Our Family Magic, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also give me a call or a text. My phone number is 978-432-WISH. Reach out today and let's make some magic with your family vacation.
In addition, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast. And another option that only costs a minute or so of your time is to leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcast and or wherever you access our show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, etc. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right, nachos are on plates.
And yar. Bye!